All right, love bugs. Good evening, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new, welcome. If you are returning, thank you for being here. The link to all services can be found in the description box below. So listen, this isn't so much of a reading. I am going to do a tarot reading. I have one coming, okay? But I want to talk to some people out there. All right, those who are in a state of suffering, those who feel like they have been suffering and this has been lifetime suffering. I want to talk to those people because believe it or not, I do read the comments. I do read my email. I try to respond to everyone. I'm not able, I know sometimes I miss comments, okay, and emails. So I wanted to put out this message. This has been on me since last night. I don't know how this is going to go. I don't know how long it's going to be because I'm just allowing the Holy Spirit to use me and speak through me, as always, to whomever needs this. Suffering. Right? I know it doesn't feel good, and I know to some like it really feels like you've been suffering all your life, and we grow tired and weary in suffering, but you can't give up. Okay, I want you to understand that not all suffering is of the enemy, or not all of it is from black magic or a curse or a hex or someone doing something to you, okay? Some suffering is self-imposed. Some suffering is a direct result of a decision that was made, cause and effect. The other thing I want you to consider is if this is something that the Most High allowed, permitted the enemy to do, don't you think that he permitted it for a reason? Wouldn't you think that if he allowed it, it's for a reason? And the last thing I want you to consider is that if the Most High permitted this suffering, wouldn't there be a divine purpose for it? A divine purpose for your pain? You have to understand that your pain is not in vain, okay? It's not for nothing. It is in the midst of pain and in suffering that sometimes that's when God can show us for real who he is and what he can do, and not only show us but those around us. Sometimes we are made to suffer so that we can draw nearer to that energy, to him, so that we can come into alignment, so that we understand that there is nowhere else to go, and that there only is the Most High, right? Sometimes suffering is a blessing, and when you begin to change your perspective, especially on this journey, when you begin to change your perspective, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at will change. So when you begin to look at your suffering and realize that there is a blessing in there, right? Like, had it not been for this suffering, this period of suffering, would you have gotten onto your spiritual journey? Would you have had that awakening? Because I know for most people, the awakening process is a painful process. Had that not happened, would you be where you are today? Would you be the person that you are today, or would you still be making the same mistakes and doing the same things and operating in survival mode as you did in the past? Understand that purpose is birthed out of pain a lot of times. Okay? There are so many people out here who have charities and businesses and brands and initiatives that were birthed out of pain, out of their trauma, out of their suffering. And so I urge you tonight to not see it as long suffering, or to not see that as an attack. Like, even if that's what it is, okay? The enemy wins when you give in to his ways, his thought processes, right? You got to begin to turn things around in your mind. When you begin to see suffering as a blessing, when you begin to realize that, no, there really is divine purpose to this pain, and there's something that you can take that pain and do with it and use that to help others, that's a change in perspective. I know we grow weary, we grow tired, because we are human. We're spiritual beings having a human experience, and in this human experience, we grow tired. I get it. But you have to hold on, and you can't give up, because there's too much work to be done. There's too much depending on you to keep going. So my message to you tonight is to maybe change how you are looking at things. And the things you look at will begin to change. Learn to take your negatives and turn them into a positive. You understand what I'm saying? It's easier said than done, but it is doable. It is possible, because people do it all day, every day. I have been asked, how do we stop this constant cycle, this warfare, this, that, and the third? Listen, you don't. You continue to battle, you continue to war, but all of that, everything starts in your mind. Changing your mind, renewing your mind, changing your thought process. Everything starts there. And when you begin to look at your suffering differently, I promise you the enemy can't use it against you anymore. Okay? I don't know who that was for, but I am going to post this, and I am going to leave it up. And if I am led to, I think I am going to post it on my Patreon as well, because I feel like somebody out there needs to hear this. Do not grow weary in long suffering. Do not grow weary in doing good. Do not grow weary. Change how you see it. Change how you perceive it. And when you change those things and make the negatives work for you, again, the enemy can no longer use it against you. As a matter of fact, that will confuse the enemy, whoever the enemy is to you. So again, I don't know who this is for, but I pray that it reaches you, my love. And I pray that it blesses you. All right. You guys have a blessed night. I'll be back with a tarot check-in. Until next time, peace.